like us. Because they not like us. They wish they were. See, you keep diluting the greatness of a people, and what you'll have is a shadow of what it was ever meant to be.
It's so confusing for children. Yeah. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it. I mean, and nothing is more being a part of it.
In a recent wave of controversy, Wendy Williams has stepped forward to defend Monique while shedding light on what she claims to be Oprah Winfrey's questionable motives. Williams, known for her unapologetically bold commentary, has openly sided with Monique, who has long been vocal about her grievances with Oprah and Hollywood's elite. During a Candid segment, Williams criticized Oprah's alleged agenda, describing it as detrimental to certain stars who have dared to speak their truth. This latest twist has reignited discussions about power dynamics, loyalty, and fairness in the entertainment industry.
Because contractually,
yes,
when you make a movie, regardless of who you signed the deal with,
yes,
your job is to go and promote said movie. So when they wanted you to come, and we've had this conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in.
In a recent interview on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, Monique confronted Oprah Winfrey about their long-standing feud. Monique accused Winfrey of betraying her by allegedly blackballing her in Hollywood after her Oscar win for Precious. She claimed that roles she was promised were given to Winfrey instead, and that Winfrey and Tyler Perry were behind this effort.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are. Where Oprah Winfrey and I have a problem is Oprah Winfrey called us up and she said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer. So my mind thought was, because she said, do you want to come on? I said, I don't want nothing to do with that cat. I said, nigga, I know is up to a scam.
Thank you for staying up late with us here on The Factor Uncensored. We have a great program for you, as we do every night. Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique is making it clear how she feels about Tyler Perry. They have been feuding for years. Monique had accused Tyler Perry and Oprah of blackballing her from Hollywood. And despite Monique apologizing to both for those claims back in February, it appears Monique still has hard feelings towards both Oprah and Tyler Perry. She went in on the icons during a recent comedy performance. Take a look.
In a candid interview on the Comedy Hype podcast, Monique delved into her turbulent relationship with Oprah Winfrey, illuminating the deep-seated grievances she holds against the media mogul. Monique's frustration stems primarily from Oprah's decision to feature her estranged brother on a 2010 episode of her talk show, in which he discussed molesting Monique when she was a child. Monique felt this was a profound betrayal, as she had not consented to the appearance and felt blindsided by the lack of communication.
But people can change. And who am I to say he hasn't changed? It might really be different. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I just don't want nothing to do with it. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first. When I hung up that phone, brother, I looked at my husband and I said, that is all right with me. That's a real.
She kept it because
she didn't have to call me up. She didn't have to say my brother was coming. She could have just ran with shit and let it happen. I dig her for that. Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother.
During the podcast, Monique expressed her deep disappointment with Oprah, a figure she once admired. She criticized Oprah for failing to support her, particularly in light of Oprah's advocacy for survivors of misconduct. Monique's account sheds light on a larger struggle for respect and fairness in Hollywood, emphasizing how personal and professional boundaries were breached in ways that profoundly impacted her life and career.
And we begin to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me, which I will never repeat because she shared it with me about her mother and father. It might be something she shared with everybody, but wanted to make me feel special. I don't know. Nonetheless, it was in our moment. I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is.
Adding to the bitterness is Monique's perception that Oprah, alongside other prominent figures like Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels, played a role in blackballing her in Hollywood after her Oscar win for Precious. Monique has consistently argued that her vocal stand against unfair treatment and underpayment in the industry led to her being ostracized and losing out on significant career opportunities. She emphasized that her outspokenness was not just for personal gain, but was part of a larger fight against systemic exploitation and discrimination in the entertainment industry.
I got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood.
But this isn't the only difficulty that Monique is facing at the time. So while she's getting backlash because she wasn't playing the game, Monique had been betrayed by somebody that she never saw coming. This is where things shift from professional to deeply personal.
What happened?
Too much to say.
Well, just give me a little bit of that.
Yeah, I will say that my children are the center of my life. And having children, having family, it keeps you grounded and centered. But if you put your children first before you make any decision, you never make a bad decision.
That's brilliant.
You never make one bad decision if you put them first.
So is that what you were doing those years you were resting on the couch? Is that what you were doing?
That's what I've been doing since I've had them, putting them first. They've been first.
Monique called Whoopi Goldberg the help during an interview, explaining that she felt Goldberg's comments were dismissive of her concerns about being underpaid and undervalued in the entertainment industry. Monique felt that Goldberg's suggestion that she could have schooled her on understanding contracts was condescending, especially given Goldberg's own history of accepting Ted Danson in blackface. Monique emphasized that she was speaking out against being treated unfairly and wanted to highlight the broader issue of systemic exploitation in Hollywood.
She's been dope, but she's been the help for all these years.
Yes.
How do you reconcile the two?
Well, I told the truth. And what happens is we're now in a society that the truth is offensive. See, I too have been the help. And the very man Whoopi Goldberg told me to get rid of, which is my husband and my manager, he said, Mama, you've got to stop being the help. Because 100 years from now, when your image is on that screen, somebody else's family benefits from that, not mine. So I wasn't saying it to do a dig. I wasn't saying it to spill no tea.
Oprah did a sit-down interview with Global Grind, and she responded to some of the comments that people like Donald Trump and Monique have made about her.
When people say negative things about you, Trump, Monique is in the media right now. Why do you continue to take the high road? Why don't you address it face?
Oh my gosh, because it's impossible. It's a law. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. I would never stoop to try to meet somebody where they are negative.
While Oprah Winfrey has built a reputation as a champion for social justice and equality, she has also faced accusations regarding her treatment of certain Black artists and individuals. Oprah has also come under growing scrutiny for her treatment and compensation of Black artists involved in her projects, prompting significant questions about equity and representation within the industry.
This movie was important because it created a space and roles for a group of Black women.
Yes, and I would just like to say about this whole Taraji, you know, I heard I was trending yesterday because people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji. Taraji will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film, championing not only the behind-the-scenes production, but also everything that everybody needed. So whenever I heard that there was something that people needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. You know, that's the way the studio system works. And we as producers, everybody gets their salary. That's negotiated by your team. And so whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or there was a problem with the food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right.
If you got kids in college and the commencement speaker is likely to spew out woke rhetoric, encourage them to stand up and walk the hell out. That will be one of the best life lessons that you can give them before they head off into the world themselves. Play the clip.
You are the generation that is forced to depend on body cams to obtain justice. And even then, accountability, as we've seen again and again, can be so hard to come by. You witnessed the storming of the Capitol and the death of civility. You're acutely aware that voting rights are being gutted, women's rights are being dismantled, books are being banned, history is being rewritten.
It is funny to me that a lot of these people pushing these agendas are already filthy rich and largely unaffected by what they want the rest of us to comply with through either being forced to change or agree with. And it is so weird that the Dems seem to never be concerned about the real issues like inflation, high gas, foreign threats, and the crime.
Henson specifically mentioned that she and other Black actors, including those working on The Color Purple, received lower pay compared to their peers, leading to significant backlash against Oprah, who co-produced the film.
Well, Oprah Winfrey is hitting back at claims that she created a negative experience for the cast during the filming of The Color Purple.
Now, speculations started when one of the film's stars spoke out about being paid inadequately in Hollywood, as well as criticising production for making cast members drive themselves to set in rental cars. But the media mogul has shut all of those rumours down, saying there's no bad blood between the pair.
Oprah special. So how are y'all getting along, and have y'all spoke after this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have anything against Oprah.
You just called her a bitch.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You named your dog Oprah, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Look.
I remember that.
No, look. Every time she made a mention to hip hop culture, it was something that was wrong with it, and it was something that was on my CD that was the largest debut in hip hop album. You're looking at it and you're saying that everything that's wrong with our culture is why I'm a success.
Wow.
So when I actually got a chance to talk to her, she was like, I never thought about it like that. She's not where she's at by accident.
Moreover, according to various industry insiders and unconfirmed reports that hint at Oprah's presence at some of Diddy's infamous parties, where the environment was often chaotic and unrestrained, Rogan didn't stop there. He also hinted at potential behind-the-scenes collaborations between Oprah and Diddy, which may involve business ventures, social influence, or other dealings that were kept under wraps.
Shame for child victims is that the attention and the from the predator, who is probably going to be somebody you know.
Right.
In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your, it feels good.
Right.
Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good.
Some believe that they are part of a coordinated effort to advance specific agendas, using their immense wealth and influence to manipulate public opinion and suppress the truth. With both icons now facing serious allegations, conspiracy theorists are having a field day, positing that this isn't just a random legal entanglement, but part of a more sinister plot.
And that was such a particularly challenging part for me in beginning therapy. That was one of the biggest things I kept bringing to therapy was, what does it mean that it felt good? What does that mean about me?
That's one of the reasons it's so confusing for children.
Yeah.
And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like, and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being... And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if they're any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it. I mean, and nothing is more being a part of it.
While Oprah's public persona has always been carefully curated as one of empowerment and advocacy, these bombshell revelations paint a different picture. Many are questioning whether she might have turned a blind eye to the alleged misconduct surrounding Diddy's parties, or if she herself may have been involved in ways that the public hasn't yet been made aware of. As the controversy intensifies, speculation about Oprah's role in the unfolding drama continues to mount, with fans and critics alike demanding more transparency.
You can't begin to love yourself or even be true to yourself unless you know who you are.
Recent allegations suggest Oprah Winfrey, the queen of daytime television, may be entangled in a web of illicit dealings tied to high-stakes online crime. This controversy has caused widespread disbelief, prompting questions about how someone with such a pristine public image could be implicated in such troubling accusations.
But you already know with Oprah, with the whole Maui situation going on, that she got a lot of backlash for that. It's just, my whole thing is like, saying nothing is almost worse. Cause like, it's not like you gotta say, oh, I need to wait to see. You don't need to wait. Everybody in the world done seen that video.
One of the most serious allegations revolves around claims that Oprah is accused of preparing and providing children for Combs' notorious parties. These claims, though unproven, have further fueled the fire of public suspicion, casting a dark cloud over her reputation. Such accusations come at a particularly precarious time, as Diddy himself faces legal challenges and allegations of misconduct that have captivated the public's attention.
Why have all of the girls went missing that was at that school graduating class and nobody is talking about it? I tell you why. Because you guys are protected and I don't appreciate it. I want you guys to tap in, tune in, comment. If you guys know about it, talk about it, spread the word, share this. Those girls in Africa went missing. That was at Oprah's school, Oprah Winfrey. Where were these girls at? Has anybody found them? Why is there not enough coverage on this? But those 5 guys that went missing, RIP, definitely feel bad for them. That's a lot of coverage. Of course. Anyways, peace out.
Adding to the controversy is the renewed focus on Oprah's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, a school established with the noble goal of empowering underprivileged girls through education. Despite its inspiring mission, the academy has faced troubling allegations of misconduct in the past. These claims, although not directly linked to Oprah's personal actions, have raised questions about oversight and accountability within her philanthropic endeavors.
And the employee was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with kids. Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted. Oprah went on record saying she was going to look at the situation, but after her investigation, the employee was cleared of any wrongdoing, and some allege Oprah had a hand in trying to cover it up. But these incidents continue to rock the school, including a newborn baby being found unalived at the school, which some say was for trafficking.
Oprah Winfrey has spoken out about the Harvey Weinstein scandal, describing it as a pivotal watershed moment in the battle against harassment and misconduct in the entertainment industry. She stressed stressed the importance of confronting these issues openly and holding perpetrators accountable, advocating for systemic change to address exploitation and empower survivors to share their stories.
Repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment.
Steve Harvey is an A-list celebrity. You can't let Cat Williams go in on Oprah. Oprah is an A-list celebrity. You can't let Monique go in on Oprah and Steve. They're A-list celebrities. Shannon Sharpe broke the one rule that is unforgivable by celebrities in show business. You never expose or reveal our privations and Hollywood secrets to the public. Steve Harvey violated that rule, and as a result of that, a lot of celebrities are being told not to interview with Shannon Sharpe.
What are your thoughts on Monique's candid revelations and her criticism of Oprah? Do you think Hollywood needs to do more to address issues of respect and equity? Share your opinions in the comments below.